Welcome to the complete review of Samsung's Galaxy F23 5G, that had come as a successor to the F22. Though this phone doesn't look very different from the F22, there are some important internal upgrades like the more powerful 5G SoC, sharper display, and a new camera setup. Let's dive in deep and know whether Galaxy F23 5G is a good mid-range option to prefer. First, we will quickly see what all we get when we unbox the Galaxy F23 5G. Inside the thin box, we get the handset, a Type-C to C charging cable, and finally some paperwork that is the user manual. So there is no adapter coming with the phone, and we would have to buy the 25-watt charger separately from stores. This makes the phone cost a little more, so the price tag given for the phone is not the final price. As far as the design is concerned, Galaxy F23 is a thinner and lighter device that has a matte finish, with curved edges and a plastic back that is good to hold. The phone is very comfortable for using and all the buttons and ports are placed perfectly. The fingerprint scanner is on the side power button, and at the bottom, we get the 3.5mm headphone jack, a Type-C port, and the single down-firing speaker which is not stereo. F23 supports 2 nano SIMs and a microSD card socket that is placed on the left side. There is the Corning Gorilla Glass 5 used for protection, and that's all about protection as the phone does not have any IP ratings or such. Color options are good. The phone is available in aqua blue and forest green, which is good looking. F23 screen is where we must concentrate more, as we can see that the TFT LCD display is definitely a downgrade when compared to the Super AMOLED screen on F22. This phone sports a 6.6-inch LCD screen with a 120Hz refresh rate, and everything is smooth about it. Colors and brightness are good indoors, but when used under bright sunlight it is a little difficult for the eyes. Streaming HD content will not be a problem, but remember there is no HDR support for this TFT panel. For some much-needed performance boost and speed, Samsung has used the Snapdragon 750G built on 8nm technology in Galaxy F23. This helps us play high-end games at 30 frames per second, but when switching to smooth graphics and ultra frames rates there are some frame drops. This phone does get a little warm after continuous usage, but it will not be felt over a cover. Moving on, like other Galaxy phones, F23 runs on Android 12 out of the box with the One UI 4.1. What's important is that Samsung has promised their users to get 2 years of software updates and 3 years of security patches for Galaxy F23. The One UI has got plenty of features for shortcuts and customization, but the interface could have been better for use. Galaxy F23 comes with 2 RAM options, which are the 4GB variant and the 8GB RAM one. This pairs with a 128GB internal storage, and we can also use the micro SD slot to expand. Going with the 8GB RAM variant would be a better option, as the 4GB RAM will not be adequate when running multiple apps. So, for smooth functioning and multitasking, 8GB is a smart pick. The triple camera setup is a typical mid-range module that is not too good or too bad. F23 has a 50MP main wide camera along with an 8MP ultra-wide lens and a 2MP macro lens. For selfies, there is an 8MP camera that can take wide shots. Samsung's trick is to provide more camera settings inside the app, and this phone also brings many shooting modes and more. The fun shooting mode that gives filter options can be used on both front and back cameras, and the camera generally does well in daylight. The photos come out with good details, and color saturation is up to the mark with the F23's camera. Close-ups were good, but the only negative with this camera is the low light shots that could look better. Selfies are good with the 8MP front cam, and you need not worry if you are snapping in a bright place. Shooting videos in 4K at 30 frames per second is possible with F23, but stabilization can be a problem, and again, low light videos are just not good enough. However, at 1080p we can shoot good videos with stabilization even when we are moving. Galaxy F23 packs a 5000 mAh battery that is very much enough to push a day and a half. If you are a light user, one full charge might even come for 2 full days. This phone supports a 25-watt fast charger, but as we already mentioned, you have to buy the adapter separately or use your old adapter. If you wish, you can even use a 65-watt Type-C adapter that can power your phone quickly in about an hour. So battery capacity and life is clearly a plus with F23. Connectivity and communication will be flawless as F23 gets all the needful specs. There is Wi-Fi 802, direct in hotspot, Bluetooth 5, NFC, and all the other important sensors that modern phones have. Not to forget, this phone is a 5G device that has enough 5G bands. To sum up, the Samsung Galaxy F23 comes with an ordinary display, long battery life, and some necessary hardware upgrades. The Snapdragon 750G is a great performer, and the software updates that are promised by Samsung must keep this phone in the game for a few years. Adding on, the 5G bands are also going to be useful in the future. Things to worry about are the decent cameras that are a little average for today's standards, as F23's competitors are giving more interesting features. So what do you think of the Galaxy F23 5G? Let us know in the comments section below. See you again soon in another video. Bye.